Finnigans Wake. Finnigans Wake bij J.Joyce. 1882 tot 1941. Finnigans Wake. I would like to start with the end of Midsummer Night's Dream, where Puck says, "If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend, if you pardon we will mend, and as I am an honest Puck, if we have on earth luck, now to escape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long, else the Puck a liar call, so good night unto you all. Give me your hands, if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends." This is the first time me reading Finnigans Wake. I should mention my brother. He's a writer and he wrote in the same sense, but with more sense, Dracula, which plays in between the waking and sleeping of a man in his dream. Finnigans Wake by James Joyce. River run, past Eve and Adams, from swerve to shore to bend of bay, brings us by a commodious vestige of recirculation back to Howth Castle and environs. Sir Tristram, Viola the Amours, for over the short sea had Pascal re-arrived from North America on this side the scraggy Isthmus of Europe Minor to wield the fight, his penchant war, nor had Top Sawyer's rocks by the stream Oconee exaggerated themselves to Lawrence country Gorgias while they went Dublin their mumper all the time, nor a voice from a fire below Mish to Tortoff, Twelfth Pitrick, not yet though Venishun after had a kid's cat buttoned a bland old Isaac, not yet through old fair in Venice, where Sosie sisters wroth with throne Nathan Joe rot a peck of pass malt at Gem or Sven, brewed by arc light and hoary end to the raggy brow, was to be seen linksom on the aqua face, the full baba daragona, tak mi norong con bron tonaron dorvar, ona miskraven dornuk of a once Wall Street old Paris related early in bed and later on life down through all Christian minstrelsy. The great fall of the off-wall entailed at such short notice the pursuit of Finnegan, a solid man, that the Humpty Hillhead of himself promptly sends an uncraving one well to the west in quest of his tum toes, and their upturned pike point and place is at the knockout in the park where oranges have been laid to rust upon the green since Devonshire first loved Livy. What clashes here on Will's gen once, ostery gods, gagging fishy gods, brakak, kakak, kik, kakak, koax, 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 ulla, 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 quanno, where the Baldalese partisans are still out to math, Master Malucius, Mike Grains, and the Verdens catapulting the Cami ballistics out of the void boys of Hoodie Hats, Azzigates and Boomerang Thorns, Boomerang Storms, Boomerang Stroms, Sots brood he be me fair. Zijn glory and save, arms appeal with larms appalling, killy, kill, killy, a toll, killy, 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 a toll. What chance cuddles, what castles add and ventilated, what biddy metilos is seduced by what the Gedlow solvers, what true feeling for their higher, what with what strong voice of false Jacob. Oh, hear how oft sprawled that's the dust, the father of fornicationists. But oh, my shining stars and body, how hath fame spawned most highly heaven, the sky sign of soft advertisement. But what is it? Air were sewers, the oaks and of old. Now they lie in peats, yet elms leap where ours lay. Fall if you will, but rise you must, and none so soon either shall the farce. For the nuance come to a set-down circular finish, bike Nestor Finnegan of the stuttering hand, free man's board lift in the broad ast's way immeasurable, in his rush-lit tooth are back for message. Before Joshuan judges had given us numbers of Helveticus, committed Deuteronomy, one his day he sternly struck his teeth in a tub for his wash the future of his face, but he swiftly struck it out again by the might of Moses. By the very water was evaporated, and all the guineas had met that exodus, so that ought to show you what a Pensquanjuri's chap he was. And during mighty odd years, this man of hot cement and edifices in Topperstorp, pilled building supra building upon the banks for the livers of the Suanso, he addle little 50 Annie Ugged, the little creature, with her higher in hongs, tuck up your part in her, off while bulbous Mither ahead, Mithra ahead, with goodly trowel in grasp and Evorials overalls, which he habituarial von see like a Haroon Chaldrick Akkeberg. He would calculate by multi-papyrals the altitude and multitude until he seesaw by midnight of the liquor wherein it was born, his round head staple of other days to rise in undressed masonry, upstanded joy granny. A whale-wharf of skyscape of most Eiffel hoist in towerly originating from next to nothing and celestialating the himmels and all high uncreatical, tip loftical, with a bursting bush above off its bowel top, and with laurels o tullus glittering up the tumbles, o buckets cropping down. On the first was he to bear arms and a name, was Eiley Bosley on Riesenborg, his crest of heraldry invert with Ancilia's troublance argent a haycock, Pursuvian's horrid horned his clutculum fest with arches strung. Hilario of the second hooch is for her husband's man handling his hoe. Ho 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 ho, Mr. Finn, you are going to be Mr. Finnigans. Come day morn, and oh you fine. Scent day eve, and are you vinegar? Mr. Fun, you're going to be fined again. And then, what then, agent like, brought about that prodigy, Founder's Day, this municipal sin business. Our cube house still rocks as a witness to the thunder of his arifatas. But we hear also through successive ages that shabby chorus of uncarified muzzle minions that would black guard his eyes, the white stone ever hurtled out of heaven. Stay us wherefore in our search for Tydurius, O sun-stainer, what time we rise, and when we take up to the tooth nick, and before we lump down upon our leather bread, and in the night, and at the fading of the stars, for a nod of the Nabir is better than wink to the Wasanti. Other ways, westward ways, like the Prophiost, scuffling, the moon, the Jebel, and the Egyptian sea, crop herb, the crunch, bracken shell deside. Then we will know if the feast is a fly day. She has a gift of seek on sight, and the elves casually answers helpers, the dreamy dairy heeds, in a misfired brick, or as some say, or in mort, have been due to the collapsius of his back promises, as others look at it. There extend by now 1,000 and other stories, all told of the same, but so sore did it, Ivy's Hollyard's Abels, what with the Walhal's horrors of Rolls Rights, car hacks, stone guns, kissed fangs, tram trees, Fargo ballers, auto kinodiums, hippo hobobolius, street fleet stored taxes, mega fogs, circuses and war smokes and baliscas and apricots and the hoys and the jolly brew and the peeler in the coat. And the Mecklenburg bitch bite at his ear, and the Mellingborough and rocks and his four old forepaws, and then the boar, the moor and his blight blacks, working tax at 12 pins a dozen, and a newbie's bushes slaving along safety first streets, and the daddy jelly by snooping around tell no tailors, corners and the fumes and the hopes and the strumpy hump of his vile indigenous roam keepers, home reapers, dome creepers, turium in fancy mud and marmot, and all the uproar from all the off roofs, a roof for May and a reef for huge butt under his bridge shoots Tony, one warning filth, tippling full, his howled field heavy, his hodded did shake. There was a wall, of course, in erection. Dim, he stuttered from the latter. Damp, he was dud. Dump, Master Batoon. Master Batoon. When a man marries, his lute is all long for all the world to see. J.Joyce, I should see. Makul orar, with ye deed ye die. Of a trying, thirsty morning. Blight black worthing stacks at 12 pins, a dozen and a newberry's good bushes. Slading along safety first street, and the Derry Jerry by, snooping around the tell no tailors, corner and the fumes and the hopes and the strumpy hump of his vile indigenous Rome keepers, home weepers, dome creepers, to room, and fancy mud murmured at all of the uproar from all the off roofs, a roof for May and a reef for Hugh, but under his bridge shoots Tony. One warning, Phil tippling full, his foul field heavy. His hodded did shake. There was a wall, of course, in erection. Dimp, he stuttered from the latter. Damp, he was dud. Dump, Master Batoon. When a man marries, his lute is all long for the whole world to see. J.Joyce, I should see Makul orra with ye deed of a trying first day morning. Sobs they shake did at Finnigans Wake. All the hooligans of the nation prostrated in their consternation and their dual dismarial profusive plethora of illusion. There was proms and grooms and sheriffs and guitars and raiders and cinnamon too, and all he gained. With he shouted most chauvinily, Agog and Magog, and the round of them a grok, and the continuation of the celebration until Hannit Honnigan's extermination. Some in King Kinkoras, more Kankan Karim, belling him up and filling him down. He is stiff, but he is steady. Is Priam Olim? 'Twas he was, the Dakin gay labouring youth. Sharpen his pillow's cone, tap up his beer. Ale or error in his woe, would he hear sick a din again. With their deep brow, fun digs, and the dusty fidelios, they laid him broad on a long ghost bed, with a buckalips of Finniski for his feet, and a barrow load of Guinness whore his hand. Tea, the tooth hole of the fluid hang, the twaddle of the fuddles. Oh, hurrah, that is. But young glee for the owl glow wheels in their view, which is tautologically the same thing. Him a being so on the flounder, on his bulk, like an overgrown babbling, let we peep see at home. Well, CPG out the odd letter plates, hum, from shopalists to bailiwick, or from Ashton to Baranow, or from beauty banks to roundy heads, or from the foot of the bill to Iglerian's eye. He called me extensiorius, and all the way a horn From fjord to fjell, his bay winds or bobodos shall wail him. Rock bounds. Hoa, hoa, hoa. In swing Sam Swan, and all the livy long nights, the Delville dappling night, the night of blurry bells, her flitulate flute in tricky thrushes. O Carmina Burana, O Carina, wake him with her Inception assassins and her Papa Jack Martins about all them inns and horses, oozes. Tilling a teal of a tub, telling a tale of a teachery, turtly toppling, grace before glutton, for what we are gifts, a gross if we are about to believe. So cool the beck and pass the kiss, for cross sake omen, so sigh us. Grandpapas is fallen down, but Greenwich splits the board, waves on the joint of a dash. Thin foe from the fush weighs his bacon had a loaf of St. Kennedy's bread, and weighs hitched to the top of his tailio. A glass of Danube O'Juno, famous old Dublin's ale, but lo, as you would pull off his front stuff and sink teeth through that pit, pipes of a flower white body-o, the whole of him as behemoth, for he is nowhere mo finice, only a photograph of a yesterday scene, all those Rubicons, cell muscle or ancient from out the ages of the age Pimionius. He is smolten in our midst, woe becanned and packed away, so that meals that of the for some men schluck, slice and good redhering. Yet may we not see still the Brontorion from outline they slumbered even in our night time by the sedge of the throudling stream that Bronto loved and Brunto had her lean on. Hic cubat Elidius apud libertaminium parfulium. What if she be in flags or flitters, Ricky Rags and son Dioxiosius, with a mint of mines, or beggar a penny weight? Arrah! Sure we all love little Annie Runio, or we mean to say love little Annie Rainier, Anna Raini, and Anda her brella. Mit piddle, met puddle, she ninny goes and nanny goes, mincing by. Yo! Bronto lone sleeps, no snores upon den heater. In Siepel is out too, the Kranik had on him, Caster for his reasons. Per Judna in yond mist. Booth! His clay feet sworded in vardy glass stick up stark, where he last fell on him by the mond of the magazine wall, where our Maggie seen all with her sister shawl, while over against this belly's alliance beyond ill 60 Olorial ill backsides of the fourth. Bomb, Tara bomb, lurk the ambushes, the side of the laughing in weights of the upjock and hawk toms. Hence, when the clouds roll by, Jamie a proud eye view is enjoyable of our mounting mass. Now, Whalingstone National Museum, within some greenish distance, the charmful Waterloo's country, and the so quite white Finnigans, who here show of themselves so gigglesome minxed, the foliage, the praterials, penetrators, are permitted into the mushy Mount Free Welsh and the Paddy Patkinskins. One shalank re-dismembers invalid to hold guard, find quasi-pram to sate the sword of their butts. For her passkey supply to the janitrix, the mistress cave tip. Tis the way to the mushy room, mind your hats, going in. Now jizz are in the Wellington mushy room. This is a Prunius gun. This is a flinch tip. This is the flag of the Prussius. The cap, the Scoracia. This is the bullet that bing the flag of the Prussius. This is the French that fire on the ball that bang the flag of the Prussionius. Salutes the cross gun. Salutes the cross gun up with your pike and fork. Tip, bull's foot fine. This is a triple worn hat of Liponian tip. Liponian hat. This is the Wellington on the same white horse, the cock and hape. This is the big slaughter, Wellington grand and magnetic, in his gold tin spurs and his iron ducks, and his quarter brace, woolly shoes, and his magnates garters, and his Bangkok's best and gaudiest goloshes, and his Pulioponionius and more crews. This is his big white horse. Tip, it is the three Liponian Boyne crouching down in the living dash. This is an Indian Skillian Ingwills. This is a Scotcher Grey. This is a Davies Tooping. This is the bog, Liponian mordering the Liponian bag. A Corrigurt's argument. This is the petty Liponian boy that was nature back north bug. I say, the surely fits to old mush, Dirty McDyke and Harry O'Hurry. All of them, Arminius, Parmenius, this is Delenian Alps. This is Mount Tivol. This is Mount Tipsy. This is the Grand Mount in June. This is the Crimaline of the Alps, whooping to shelter shock the three Liponians. This is the Ginnies with their legahorns fainting to read in the handmaid's book of Stelilio while making their war on the sides, the willing dome. The Genies is a coin her hand, and the Genies is a ravine her hand, and the willing dome get her hand up. This is the triple one hat of Napoleon, tip Napoleon hat. This is the winning dome on the same white heart, the cock and hape. This is the big slaughter, winning dome, granted magnetic in his gold tin spurs and his iron ducks. This is big winning dome, memorial, telescope, wonderwork upsides on the flanks of the Ginnies, Excalibur, Ross power, tip. This is me, Belgium, sneaking his Philippi out of his most awful grimace, sun-shed Crom Valley, looted. This is the Genies. Hastings dispatched for to irrigate the Welling Dome. Dispatch in thin red lines across the short front of me, Belgium. Ja! 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 Liebe Oorlog, verzieken, field gaze thy tiny throw, hawk acting nap. That was the tic-tacs of the Genies for his Fontonial, the winning dome. She, the Genies is dubious, aging courting all the Lipomrians, and the Liponiums is gone, boycotting crazy onto the one winning dome. And the winning dome gets the band up. This is Boat, Belgium, Bonnet to Bisbee, breaking his secreted word with a ball up his ear to the willing dome. This is the willing dome's hurled this pitch back, this pitch deployed on the regions rare of me, Belgium, Salamanca, aye, cherry Ginnies, victory you, damn ferry and Vautre, willing dome. That was the first joke of willing dome, tick for tack. He. This is me, Belgium, in his 12-mile cow chucks, weed, tweed, and stamp for foremost, footing the camp for the Ginnies. Drink a sip. Drink a sup. For he is a sooners by a Guinness, then he'd still store stout. This is Rosinius balls. This is Trench. This is Mistletoes. This is Cannon, fodder with the poppy nose. After his 100 days indulgence, this is the blessed. Tara's withers. This is Ginnies in the bonny born blotches. This is Liponius in the rowdy hoses. This is the winning dome by the splinters of cork. Order fire! Tonorie, Balbazar play! This is Camely. This is Florence. This is the Solfenius in action. This is the Solfenius acid in action. This is their Mobley. This is Panic Burns. All Milgigadat, Arteris, Toulouse. This is Winning Don't Cry, Broom, Broom, come Broom. This is Ginny's Cry, on the wetter. Goat, Strip, Thin Lambs. This is Ginny's, running away to the Austerlist Doen uit Bunker Shields. With a nippy nip and a trippy trip so airy for their hearts right there. For their hearts right there. Tip. This is me, Belgium. Thank you, silver plates for kitchen the cripes. In the cool of his canisters, pour the pay, This is the Bismarck of the marathon, Mary of the Guineas they left behind him. This is the Wellington brandish his same memorial telescope. Soapy Kipo for his royal diversion on the Rinway Genies. Game barista della Porcia della Varius Finarius, this is the pettiest. Of the Lipolumes. Toffee teeth that spy on the Welling Dome from his big white horse, his Captain Hope. Stone Wall, Willing Dome is an old maxi Montemanuri. Lipolumius is a nice hung bull bush bellows. This is Hina Hennessy laughing out loud at the Willing Dome. This is Lipsic Dooley Krieging, the funk from the Hennessy. This is the Hinadu Shima Shin between the Dooley boy and the Hennessy tip. This is the Wixie old Willing Dome picket up the hill half of the three-foiled hat of Lipomilians throwbound of the bubble filth, bloodle filth. This is the Hinning waxing Ranji mad for the bomb shoop. This is the Willing Dome hanking the half of the hat of the Liponians up the tail of the box side of his big white horse. Tip, that was the last joke of Wellington. Hit, hit, hit. This is the same white horse of the Willing Dome, Koolpen help, waggling his taily scrub with the half of a hat of Lipomnius to insult on the Hindo sea boy. Hinye! 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 Bulbasaur foul! This is the sea boy Matradrias. Up, jump and pump him. Cry to the Wellington. Up! Pucario! Puka, you're up! This is the Willing Dome born stable gentleman tenders his matchbox to the Kirkusen Shimashin Bulbasaur Basaka Usted. This is the do for him, sea boy blow the whole of the half of the hat of the Liponians off the top of the tail on the back of his wick. Big white horse tip, bullseye game. How Copenhagen ended. This way the mushy room, mind your boots gone out. Phew, what a warm time we were in there, but how Kaling is here, the abouts. We know where she lives, but you must not tell anyone, for the lamp of Jiggy Lantern, it's a candle little house of a month on windies, down a down, high down a down, and numbered quiet table mine, and in such reasonable weather too. The Wargrund winds a waltz around the Piltowns, and on every blasted nolly rock, if you can spot the 50 I spy 4 more. There's that gnarly bird gathering, a run little, do a little, prie a little, pour a little, wipe a little, kicks a little, severe a little, eat a little, wine a little, can a little, hell a little, pel a vital gnarly bird, a very tangible land of bleaky bark fields. On his 7-watch shields lies one lump roar, his glaff to side him, scud on torso. His our pigeons pair are flown for north cliffs. The 3 of crows have flapped in suddenly, cracking of the backle to the kwarters of that sky, whence tribunes answer, "Well, 'tis well, she never comes out when thorns on shower, or when thorns flash with his nixie girls, or when thorns blowing to me cracks down the gales of thorn. No nubo, no neblas, on you live. Her would be too much afraid, or bury Malak and bind Mori rolling eyes and all the deed in the woe. Fee, fo, fum. She gists, thus hope still buys, will the buys here, and it goes on to appear now. She comes, a peaceful, a parody's bird, a parry poth mother, a Pringle pick in the island skippity with pee-wee and pow-wows in beggy boggy on a biggie becky, and a flask flea flicking its pixie lighting packs. Hugh Marion bows, picking here, packing there, pushy, plunder pussy, with its army tides to nigh, Myliopocus, and to morn. We wish for a muddy kiss man's to the minutois workers and theirs to be a gorgon's gorpious truce for happiness shall her everywhere. Come, Nebo, me and Suso sing the day we celebrate. She borrowed the coach's headlight the better to pry. Who goes cute, goes cynical, and shoes around. And all spoiled goods go into her knapsack. Curved rags and rattling buttons, nappies, patches, and flasks of all nations, clavicures and scampuliers, maps, keys, and wood piles, and hay pennies, and moonlit brooches, with blood-stained bricks in embossed in night garters, and masses of shoe sets, and Nicholas knacks, and Father All Michael, and a lodgy parson of Kates, and howitzer, much ears, and mitigers, and maggots, ills and ells, with luffs of toughs and plurs of bells, and the lad side that come through the hard buckled, buck-lied, and the fattest sin the son saw that Caesark with kiss, criss, cross, kiss, cross, undo lives and slain. How beautiful, and how true to wife of her, when strangely forbidden to steal our historic presence from our past prophetic calls, so as to will make us all lordly heirs, heirs and lady maids of a pretty nice kettle of fruit. She is living in our midst of depth and laughing through all applause for us. Her birth is uncontrollable. With a naparon for her mask and her saboos kicking arias. So fair, so solly. If you ask me and I say you, how Greeks may rise and Trojans fall, they being two signs forever a picture. For in the byways of high improvidence, that's what makes life work, leaving in the world a cell for sitters to sit in. Let young women run away with the story, and let young men talk smooth behind the butler's back. She knows her night's duty while Long Tom sleeps. Did he save any tin? Says he. Did they what? With a grin, says she, and we all like a merry dam, because he is mercenary, though the length of the land lies under liquidation flood, and there's ne'er a hairbrow nor an eye bush on this glorious face or herschuft. Water welter, she'll loan a vesta and hire some peat and sarge the shores her cockles to heat, and she'll dough all a third woman can to piff the business on. Puff! To puff the blazeness on. Puff, puff! And even if Humpty shall fall frumpty times as awkward again in the beard's boozaloom of all our grand remonstrances, there will be eggs for the breakers come to mourn him sunny side up with care. So true is it that there was a turnover the tay is wet too, and when you think the catch side of a hind, make sure you are cocked by a hen. Then, as she is on her behaviored job of quiescence, bandy, frotting for firstlings and taking her thistle, we may take our review of the two mounds to see nothing of the himples here as at elsewhere by 6s and 7s. 6, 7. Nice. 1882. Like so many Hegels and Collions sit on around scant breeches and some potrique in their swish satines and their taffet tights, playing Wharton's Folly as a 3-porty on the Blanco in the park. Stand up, Mycos. Make strake for Miraz. By order Nicholas Proud, we may see and hear nothing if we choose of the short-legged Birkins of Cork Hill and the Bergamores of the Arbor Hill and the Bergamores. Bergamores of Summerhill or the Berincellis of Misery Hills, or the country boasts Burgones of Constitutional Hill. Though every crowd has its several tones and every trade has its clever mechanics, and each harmonical has a point of its own. Olaf on the rise, and Ivors on the lift, and Sintrix plays between them. But all they are, or all there scraping along the skis, out like a likelihood that will solve and self life rebus, hopping round his middle like kippers on a griddle. Oh, as he lays dormant from the macroborg. Oh, as he lays dormant from the macroborg of hold hard to the microberg of Piet, the poudre behove this. Sound of Irish sense. Really? Here English might be seen royally, one sovereign pond to pettery pants, regally. The silence speaks the scene. Fake! So this is Jiao Blong. Hush, caution, Echoland. How charmingly exquisite it reminds you of the outwashed engravure that we used to be blurring on the blotch wall of his encamped house. Used they? I am sure that tiring Chabel shoveler with the municular chocolate box, Mary Mitchell, is listening. I say the remains of the outworn gravure were used to be blurred, the poltrunions of the Incabus. Used he is only pretendant to be struggling at the Jubilee harp from a second existed listener. Verily, verily, it is well known, look for himself and see the old but new. Dublin, WKOO, here by the mausoleum lime wall. Firm, fim, with a grand funeral, with a grand fun farrel, fum. 'Tis op top theme. 'Tis op a theme which Anto paints. Lists, Wheatstone's magic lyre, they will be tuggling forever. They will be listening for a laugh. They will be pretumbling forever, forover. The harp discord shall be theirs for olives. Four things therefore saith our Herodotory Mammon Lurius in his grand old historicum, wrote near Boriorum, bluest book in the Bales and Annals, FT in Diflinescri, ne'er shall fail till heather smoke, and clouds sweet, Iris Isle, Sol Pol, and here now they are the fair Antitotius, Unum Adar, a balben bush surmounted. Up on the older man, I, Doom Nisam, a shoe on a prue woman, a do ho, Triumph, Tammuz, an auburn maid, O bride, O bride, to be deserted, O ade, Coborius, Mercivon, a pen no weightier, nor a pole post, and so, and all, success. So how idlers wind turning pages on pages, as innocence with anclates play Popeye, anti-pop, the leaves of the living in the book of the deeds, annals of themselves, timing the cycles of events, grand and national, bring facile-wise to pass how. 11,033 AD, 1132 AD, men like to ants or emmets, wandering upon a great wide wolf's which lay in a runnel, blobby wares up Lanium. 566 AD, on Baal's fire's night of this years after deluge, a crone that Hede, a wicked kish, for to hail dead turfs from the bog. Look it under the blade of her kish as she ran for to Schottish phage her curiosity and be me soul, but she found her cell sack full of sword, goody quicken soon and small ignitant brogus, so rich in sweat, bloody works at hurdles fought. 566 AD. At this time it fell out that a brazen-locked damsel grieved, Zobra la Lusalas, because that puppet, her minion, was ravished of her by an ogre purpose pious. Bloody wars in Beliog, Hak, Leog body. 11,032 AD. 2 sons at an hour were born until a good man and his hag. These sons called themselves Caddy and Primus. Primus was a sentry man and drilled all decent people. Caddy went to Winehouse and wrote O Peace a farce, bloody words for Dublin. Somewhere, apparently, in the Ginago gap between antediluvius and Anno Dominant, the copyist must have fled with his scroll. The billy flood rose, or an elk charged him, or the Saltrap whirled right from the Excel Simonios, Amphitryon bold in some earth spake, or the Danamon Gallius banged the bloody Duran, a script side, then and there is let off under old code with some fine covered by 6 marks or 9 pins in metal men, for the sake of his labour's dross, while it will be only now and again in our rear of our era as an offshoot of military and civil engagements that a gynaecure was led on through the scaffold for taking that same fine sum covertly by meddlement with the drawers of his neighbour's safe. Now, after all, that far-fetched and paragene of indignant of Clare lift, we our eyes after darkness from the tomb of Liber Lividus, and oh, how possibly ironical, all dimmering dunes and glimmering glades, self stretches afore as our Fredlands plain. Lean neath stone pine the pasture lies with his crook, young pricked by pricked sister nibbleth on returned fidelities, amid her rocking graces, the herb trinity shaw's lowliness, sky up is of a ever grey, thus too for donkey's ears since the bouts of Heber and Harriban the cornflowers have been staying of Ballium. The dusk rose has chose out goats town hedges, 2 lips have pressed together them by sweet rush, townland of twined lights, the white thorn and the red thorn have fair grey gayed the May valleys of Knock Maroon, and though for rings round them during a chariot of Perihanigangs, the Formorians have brittled the Tuath of the Danes, and the Oxman and has been pestered by the fire bugs, and the joints have thrown up Jerry building to the covenants, and little on the green is Charles' father to the city year and laughed ears. These back ceiling buttonholes have quarreled across the centuries, and with now waft to us fresh and made of all smiles as on the eve of Kili Alwu. The babelers with their tangangs fain have been confusion hold them, they were and went figging tugs, were in harmonium songtoms, were and commonly Norgirls, were and polyfool fiances. Men have fought, clerks have succumbed, the blonde has thoughts of the brune, else kiss thou may mean carry piggy, and the dunkel dames have countered with the hellish hellows, who else tongue cadeau, a space of dumb bill shilly, dump illy shilly, and they fell upon one another, and themselves they have fallen, and still now a nights, and by nights of yore do all bold florals of the field to their shy fawn lovers say only, call me I will to thee, and by a little later pluck me while I blush. Well may they wilt marry and profusely blush. Be throth, for that saying is as old as the Howitz, Howowitz, leave a will, lave a will a while in the willy barrow, isn't that a truth? I am telling ye. I have fins and flippers that shimmy and shake. Timmy can, tipped here, tempting Tam, flipper tree, flea pow, hop, in the name of Anom, this Carl on the copier in the pelted thongs, a pathed, a lone who is Joe bigger, be he, forshapen his pig-made hog's head, shrunk his plot's foot, he have lactose, his short shins and old that pectoral, his mama's muscles, most storious, it is slacking nuncheon out of some thing's brain's pan, me seemeth a dragon man, he is almost on the keep, heave by her, it is constable Saxoon, by its junipery, of the Fairbry Marax of Ailebril, of the ramping riots of Popwas, Porios, and Fraurios. What a coureur, sword of a Mahan. It is evident that Mitchendaddy let me overstep his fire defences and these crawls of slit-sucked bones cave. He can prep posterius the pillory way to Hicorius pillar. Come on, fool potter of all hossuret, women blown monk sewer, excuse us, grody guy, you toller day dansk, nee you tollective swagin, nee you speaker Anglese, you furry Saxon, clear also, 'tis a Jude letter swoop, hats, and excheck a few strong verbs, weak ouch, eat jab-jazzed, a bast and the bloody creeks, Utah, Mugs pleasured, are you Jeff? Some hearts, but you are not Jeff Mute, no, only a utterer. Whoa, what is the matter with you? I became a stummer. What a how horrible thing to be cause, how much? A pot the bottle served, whose puddle wherein the inns of dung turf were used are to be he, that you that side your voice are almost inedible to me, become a bit skin more wiseable as if I were you. Has adsency, urp, buhorial, boru usorp, I trample from wrath in my minds when I remember him. One eye gone black, bisons in bisons, let me for all hastency cross the qualm with frank guilt, here have Sylvan coin a piece of oak, guineas high is good for you. Louis, how wouldn't I know not its intangible great cloak of cedric silky shog. Seed merely faulty rises for one dabbling bar, old grizzly grousely he was poached on it that eccentrical spot. Where the livery's monomarch, there were the minister's moony minican pass, simply because as taciturn pretells our wrong story shortener, he dump-tied the whole borough of rubbish on the soil here. Just how a pot and stone inat the brook cells of a river pool. Load all Marcy with what for a Norse like Sommilar with a ball and a crump turf, Rux roarum rex room. I could snore to him of his spoomy horn, with his wool side in by the neck I am sotten on, did Brian did Olin, boiled oil and raw honey on me when I can barely forstand a word from Sturk to Finnick in such a petwad as your Rotterdam rotter. Unheard of him, and seeing guts after meal, she you doomed. Quite a dream, but save a sack. Walk a dun blink round word, this albustios, and you skull, see how all ye plain of the altars, Humphrey and ours, were wont to wail Wimbrel to Pee-wee o'er the saltings where will be city by law of Ishmon, where by a droid a sick Norius sea, ice flow was from his in the beginning to whose finish twere punct. Let him murder, me murder, two races swayed and brack, motoring grew, hitter, craving, eastarts, they are insurgents, hence cool and app, they resquise, countlessness of the lavatories have never fallen by this plague. Flick as flow flakes, litters from aloft, like a woest wizard of all worlds. Now we are all tuned to the mount, Isgis to Isgis, earth from earth. Pride, oh pride, thy prize. Stench, fiat feud, herinonder, lieth they, large by a small N, every night life also the strange Babylon, the great glam hotel with tittle house, Alp on Earwick, drunken on isles, like as equal to an equal in this sound symmetry, which is Liebe's love. Zmoord Meldonsliege by the fairest fears wave behaunted, Despons sung and Denanthros mount has swallowed them all. This off of years is not have brick dust, and being hummus and same rot runs, who of runes made raid, it all enforce. O celestial, now the celestial, terrestrial crumbling, tell me soothe the fair for humblingly fair, but speak it all softly, molder, be in your widst. Widst? The grand forticrules with a mine in the fay, how? Here is vice king grab. What? Or you astonished? You? Oh yea, I am von forstruck, thing mud. Stoop, if you were absent-minded to this clay book, what curious of signs, please stoop. In this alphabet, can you read since we and thou had it out already, its worlds? Is it the same told of all, many misgeneations of unmiscreations? Jekyll, they lived and laughed and loved and left, for sin. Thy thingdom is given to the Meads and Porsons, the Meanderthal, Alos and the Gand, and our Heidenberg in the days when heathen clouds walked the earth, in the ignorance that implies impression, that knits knowledge, that finds the name form, that wets the wits, that convey contacts, that sweeten sensation, that drive desires, that adheres to attachment, that dogs death, that bitches birth, that entails the unions of extiliation, but with a rush out of his navel, reaching the Ridorius of Ramasbatam, a Tariel Corius, vividly on view, this square on it continues to be quaky, a hatch, a celt, a Earth share the portquoise, of which was to say the earth crust, and on all hours, furtherwards, backward, like yokesen on the turnpath. Here say figurines, biddy coos, arming the mounting and arming bellicose figurines as see here. Fork. This liberal effigy is for a fire thing called a flintfall. Face at the east. Oh, I face at the waist. Oh, you fire unwrap and undump face to face. Part so petty does duty for the hollows. We soon grow to use of an elf for bits. Here, please to stoop, are Salvarian cute petties peas of quite a pecunial interest incidental as they are pellets that make the Tommy's payroll. Right rank Ragnar rocks, and with these rocks orangutans wrangled rough and ringo wrong. Wisha, why did ya? Thick is what form that thucks in its toil, like Thamonius fools, traitors, thrust of vengeance. With a menace, old menace it all makes, or midden high hall of objects, olives, beads, kimmels, dollies, Alfreds, beauties, Cormacs and Daltons, owlets' eggs, oh stoop to please, our hair creakish from age and all now quite obsolete. And old woolly wobble words, hawk, warp and wipe, oh grass. Shh. See the snake, worms, every side. Our Dullbin is swarming in sneaks. They came to our island from Thailandia, touch a prairie theatre beyond the wet prairie, reared up in the midst of the cargan of the prohibitive pomfructs, but along landed paddy. Whippingham and his garburgeriers cotched the creeps of them, pricker. Then our hose there out of a man could quick up his whatsome that's, some divide and some the lots, but the tally turned round the same Belluvusion, racketeers and bottle goggers, axe on tracks and cracks and tracks, X and Y's, X and Y's, axe on tracks, X and Y's. One by one place, one be free the doth, and one before two nurses, one make a plausible free, and I dim behind, starting off with a big boa, and three-legged culvers, and a vagrant jadeness with a message in their mouths, and a hundred filled uneven weight of liberoricum QA to cone, and we can till all horrors Eve. What a Neanderthal tale to unfurl, and with what to an end in view of squatter and anticipator and post prononius equator, to say to us to be every Tim, Nick and Larry of us, sons of the sod, sons, little sons, ye and little sons, when ye usses not to be every Sue, Sis and Sally of us, daughters of none, accusative and shire, damadam to infinities. True, there was in millions day bogs as yet no lumped papier, in the waste of mighty mountain pen still groaned for the Myces to let flee. Old was of ancestry. You gave me a boot, signs on it, and I ate the wind. I quizzed you and I quit. With for what? And you went to be quote. But the world mind is as was and will be with writing its own vrunes forever, man on all matters that fall. Under the ban of the infrarational senses for the last milch camel, the heart vein throbbing between his eyebrows, as still to more before the tomb of his cousin Charmanian, where his date is tattered by the palm that is hers. But the horn, the drinking, the day of dread are not now. A bone, a pebble, a ram's skin, chip them, chap them, cut them, always. Cut them always, leave them to terra coke in the muttering pots, and Guten Morg with his Chromagnon charter tintening fast, and great primer must once for omnibus step rubric red out of the word press, else is there no virtue more in old Coronian. For that the rapt one wants is that papier is made of hides and hints and misses in prints, till he finally, though not yet I end like meet with the acquaintance of Mr. Typus, Mr. Tope, and all the little typo tippies, fill stop dubstep, so you need hardly spell me now how every word will be bound over to carry 10 topsical readings throughout the book of Dublin's gins. May his forehead be darkened with mud, who would sunder till Dalath Maho Mahuma, who opened and closed thereof the door. Cry not yet, there's many a smile to none done, with tighty maids per man, sir, and the park so dark be candlelight. But look what you have in your hand self, the movables are squalling in motions, marching, all of them ago in pit-pat and sing-sang, for every buzzy earwigs a bit of a story tale to tell. Once upon a time, and two's behind their lattice leap, and three among the strawberry beds, and the chicks picked their teeth, and the dome be key he began. You can ask your ass if he believes it. And so cuddly, me only well-ups have heels, that one of a wife with faulty barnets, for then was the age when hoops ran high, of a norch, of a chopwife, of a pom full grave, and a family of levity, or of golden youths that wanted gelding, or of what the mischief made a man do, marry a dad. He was reverse gassed by the frisk of the fresks, by her pretty pykeek may he sees lay gay, this snaky woman. From the Tipperary toe, expunged palic, veil, Valentine eyes, he's the very bush winnie, blows nay on good, flow in, flow an, hor, so it's sure, it was not her, not we, but lay at ease, gentle. Nou, tot hier even.